Organization, Creek Squad. What's up, guys? Dylan here. I got something I want to cover, and I've been on a lot of topic stuff lately, and plus, your boy has been talking about other things. And yeah, it seems like I've been a little stressed or down. Sometimes it's just things that I don't always have the answer for because it's always unsolved questions that I don't know if I'll ever figure out. Just for being nice and doing things and have a different opinion on things and all of a sudden people change up. I mean, what is it? It is what it is. But I do got something I do want to bring. So if you see my title of the stream, so if you guys have not seen that there is a thing floating around on Instagram, and I'm sure it's probably floating around on TikTok and uh, Facebook Reels and stuff. If y'all are seeing it, but there's this video going around of Zach Brown Band performing at, I'd say, the same Spear that you see off on the road of I think in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the same giant Spear to where they're showing off like the Super Bowl rings and stuff not long ago. But there's a video floating around that I've seen quite a bit, and Zach Brown Band. I think they sold their souls, man. They sold their souls. One minute they were singing about fried chicken. Next minute, they're doing satanicisms. They're doing satanicisms. So let me show you because there's I've pulled up a few things that before I did any like when I started this. So I'm gonna show y'all. So let me explain right quick. So like the beginning of the deal, they show like a door opening up, and it's got a cross on the door, and it takes you into the direction of hell. Takes you into the direction of hell. And later on, there is this skeleton wearing the crown of thorns, or the crown that Jesus Christ or God wears. In a way, it's like they're mocking God, mocking him. And look, I was a Christian, but I'm a God fearing man. Either way, I'm allowed to believe how I want to believe, and then that is my preference, and what I choose to say and do. But I'm going to present y'all with something right quick. Make sure did it pull that up? Okay, this guy. Hold on. I know there it is. Okay, check this out. Check this out. Okay, hold on, not that one. This one. Oh, actually, hold on. There was another scene where I'm gonna borrow this guy's video. But I'm gonna turn the volume down. Sorry, buddy. I hope you don't get mad at me, Mister. You won't believe me, but I'm gonna show your thing. I don't think I've got another version here. Oh, I do, but it's on my IG. Oops, that's alright. I'm gonna borrow this guy's. Video. Don't kill me, buddy, if your face is in the video. But look, there. Look there. See the cross on the door, and then there's that right there. What I'm talking about. The guy, like the crown of thorns on the skeleton, like it takes you right in the symbol of hell. And literally, Zach Brown is performing this in the Spear as it's taking you into hell. Literally, you see the door and the cross. There's the door and the cross. All right. What are you trying to say? It's inappropriate. Oh, just a rando. Just a rando with messages. Let me hop back up on my bed right quick, and let's look at some more. Okay, let me pull this up. Oh, you won't believe this though either. Check it. You see this right here? That's Zach Brown right there. And he's literally wearing the crown of thorns. Mocking. And plus, look at the red atmosphere. Tell me that's not satanicism, bro. Especially when you're performing in the Spear and you got people all around that's recording. And then there's this one. Then there's this one here. That's literally like where it starts going a little further in. There's the crown. And then more likely it is a jab at God or Jesus himself. What blows my mind is, though, like, country music. Country music is about relatable things, storytelling, uh, real life struggles, and hard times. And what else? And yes, it's about a guy singing about his broken down truck, his heart being broken. But nowadays, country music, there's so many songs that sound the same. And
It's true. So many of these newer mainstream songs, it just blows my mind. All the repetitive thing is, it's a bunch of guys in a room writing songs. What's up, Sunfish? It's a bunch of guys in a room that basically signed on the dotted line, sell their souls to the music label, and they have no. The artist has no control. The label has control of every bit of it. Who they have in there with you, writing the song, describing what you're gonna do, how it's gonna play out, and tell you how to dress, how to act, how to do all that. All that. That's what they're doing. How do I know? Ryan Upchurch. He exposed a lot of that. Plus, he has a contract from Scott Machetta, the same one that's got the Big Machine record label, the one Aaron Lewis, Taylor Swift, Brent Gilbert, Jelly Roll, all of them, all of them, all of them, and many other artists on that label. But they don't like Aaron Lewis though, because he does his own thing. Oh, dude, Tracy Bird's good. But there are some artists though that still have that sound, that '90s and old school sound, like Zach Top. Who is that other guy? We're not going to talk about Zach Bryan because he's anti-American, even though he's being paid to do that. Even though he was what was he? What he served and stuff. He served his time as like the fight in the wars in the country. Um, who is that guy? Because he sings on the asphalt, like Blacktop. And then plus he also says the devil wears a suit. Hold on, let me look up that, like, it's his name. Devil wears a suit. Hold on, because he's a good artist. Suit and tie. That is Coulter Wall. Coulter Wall is another good one. Tyler Childers is another good one. Um, there is a bunch of like still like semi mainstream, but they're keeping like old school sound. Kind of like how Johnny Cash, Alan Jackson, George Strait. They got like a little of that old '90s sound to them, and it just blows my mind that they're really pushing this satanic crap into this music. But the thing is, on those labels, all those people, all those big wigs that are in part of that label, or any label of that, they're all connected with Sony and other big like name like companies out there. And guess what? Guess where those big wigs are from? Hollywood. They're from Hollywood. A lot of them come from California and try to find some sort of way that they could try to change a lot from bringing their BS over into this and change every bit of it and have all the control with all the big money and everything. Everything. Because of that Hollywood mindset. For all we know, some of those guys that own those record labels are probably part of the gosh darn elite. So that's the thing. I listen. I lean more towards independent artists now. I'm leaning more towards independent artists. And don't get me wrong, I've listened to a lot of artists of like today. Some still got some sound of like the old classics that we all grew up on. And then there's just these artists that just sound the same, which is insanity. Like, and then of course interpreted by bringing pop into the country scene. Because now you got a bunch of pop. I don't even remember when it started coming around. Heck, it probably started coming around in like the '90s, for God's sakes, like very small before it started becoming a huge push. If I had to have guessed. So if anybody wants to timestamp that, correct me, please do, and let me know. So I get that like correct, and I'll at least have that bit of information in my head to know, and carry it with me as I go whenever if I do another one of these videos. I mean, it's just nuts. The symbolism that they're using, hell. And look, I like Hardy and Morgan Wallen, but I'm slowly changing my perspective big time. And the song that Hardy did in that music video, in the wrong side. I woke up in the wrong side of the truck bed. If you look where he's laying, there are two horse skulls. Two horse skulls. That's witchcraftisms. That's witchcraft. I'm not exactly sure what side and how it all like correlates the deep lore of the horse skulls. I wouldn't know if it wasn't for church exposing that. So I've only got as little bit as I can like articulate on to explain. But there is so much symbolism and so much crap that they're literally trying to push. And I don't think many people see it until it gets brought to light. Nothing like it's shown and just right in your face. And that's the thing. If they keep pushing this, like just the way this is, it's going to ruin a core main of like music. Especially like it's going to push away a lot of the audience. Especially with the way mainstream's going. And they're trying to say it's okay, and they're trying to make it to where it's accepted, and they're pushing this hardcore. I mean, they are heavily pushing this very hardcore on said audience. They are. Because I just shown it. Because where they're at is a live audience and a live performance. That somebody recorded that footage. And I seen that floating around on my IG. And I even talked about it. And I'm sure there is a full video here where it shows where they're performing, getting ready to get on the stage and perform. And it seems like they're doing one cool thing for a second. Next minute, it flips open to a red door with a red cross. Opens up, takes you right into hell. And a little bit later, it takes you to the dead skeleton with a crown on its head, almost like it's mocking Jesus or God. And I just don't get this. Like, this is a spiritual, this is like a spiritual war that's going on for reals. It's an attack on a lot of beliefs and values right now. It's an attack. They're trying to push this dark and just evil crap. They are working hard to push it every way they can. I don't care if anybody wants to think I'm crazy around drugs, man. I just shown it to you, and I just gave you a bit of the facts. You could probably look it up. Scott Machete is probably from California. I mean, hell, you know what? Let's do it live. Let's do it live. Let's do it live, because I'm sure he's not a native to Nashville or Tennessee. Scott Machete from Big Record Label. That's a Brazilian player. Big Machine. Hold on. It's Big Machine record label, because it's the same one that Aaron Lewis, Brentley Gilbert, Brentley Gilbert, Jelly Roll, and all that. Bruschetta. Let's see. Let's see where he's from. Let's look up this wiki page. What the hell is this about? Oh, there's an American Idol net. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Right there. California. And look who we're looking up. Scott Bruschetta. Same guy that owns Big Machine record label. Look at that. Same dude that's in California. And you know what's in California, right? Liberal ideology and liberal ideas. Because in California, when they come over and infiltrate the states, or just these big people with big money that come on over, they find ways to push stuff off and push it in ways. And they do try to cover it up. Slowly. How do they cover it up? How exactly do they cover it up? They make it not so obvious until somebody spots it. What I mean is the where they come from, they're trying to like just kind of create these concepts and ideas, just like the same old songs that they write. Just like every song that you hear, it's all about a girl
in a jacked up truck wearing Daisy Dukes, wearing skinny jeans, while drinking a beer and chilling out with either this buff dude while they're listening to a certain song. Like there's so many songs that have that. Like you pop a top and a hot girl shows up. And they're singing songs about a story that they never even lived. Just like when they bring in all these dang pretty boys into country music. And they're trying to convince you, oh man, they're country to the core. They're true outlaws. They're true music people. They're true to the core. They're a big part of music. You need to respect them and support them and see what they're about. But when you listen to the lyrics of certain songs, when you listen to certain lyrics, it's not all exactly what you think it is. Because most of these guys are singing songs that they've never even lived. And able to actually, be part of something. Like, just like when I called out this Cross dude. He infiltrated country rap. Only reason why? To get close to Upchurch. To do the same thing Adam Calhoun did. Jelly Roll. I'd say same with just Struggle, but I don't know much about on that bit. But Katie Noel, Katie Noel, she is country, but she was just somebody that church helped and looked out for and tried to elevate her career and help her out. Because why? It's just who he is. He helps people and he helped elevate them because he cared about helping like artists and pushing them until they all went against him and stabbed him in the back and started doing anything they could to try to ruin his reputation and his career. Well, he has a lot of that documented and kept and recorded. He has a lot of that stuff documented. Because the man's got cameras in his house. Why? Because he's doing it to look out for himself and always have the receipts. And plus, people that have been to his house know dang good and well. So, just like all these artists that claim they're this and this and this, they're just a bunch of people that they're plants. They're plants. They are plants that just get put in the music. They throw them out there. They say, hey, let's go check this guy's out. This music is hot. And hell, people can go and buy bots. They can go buy bots. So go out there and try to get them pushed on the charts. Any way they can to try to get pushed on the charts. Not the big chart, not the top trending charts, but a chart somewhere to where they can take screenshots and try to convince you that they're trending. But there's a website where people can go and buy bots to push their song or their album to convince people that it is chart topping. Even though it's not even like in the top 100. You look through it, nothing. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Yadam. I'm talking about you, Yadam. Doing playing hands with a bowl of rice. You darn fence sitter. You doing playing hands, you fake country rapper. You dang gangster wankster. Doing playing hands. Cause you a midget. You a midget. Stupid midgets. But I'm telling the honest truth though about that. So trust me, I've got passion for music and I care about music a lot too. I was legit in the shower earlier singing a song. It sounded like a really good song too. I just don't have the recording stuff to use that I need to do it. I mean, I could probably do it with a phone and my tablet right here next to me. So trust me, I could do a bunch of stuff. I just need to know how to do it. Mix, master, and throw it out there and make it really good. I'm not going to just say, hey, let's just throw this out there. I mean, I could probably write a 7-minute song and do it, but with the way I am, I really got to practice and I really got to figure out how to be a wordsmith and make stuff make sense before I throw it out there and for people to break it down and react to it. But yeah, that's just my passion, just from the stuff I've learned from people that have talked about it and they've got really good sense and knowledge about this stuff. So, if I'm crazy, go ahead and say I'm crazy or I'm on drugs. Like I said, I don't care. There's already narratives on there about me. I'm just presenting my opinion and a little bit of facts. And besides, I follow a lot of people that talk about this, and they have a lot of the stuff because some people have the inside, and some people just do some research and go down the rabbit hole to learn a little bit, to figure out what really goes on in the music industry. That's why Music City makes a killing.
Didn't you? Don't you know what happened to Keith Whitley? Music industry did something to him. They did. Morgan Wallen made reference to Keith Whitley. And Keith Whitley was one of the greats of the Outlaws. Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, um, Krista Stapleton, George Jones, Conway Twitty, Tanya Tucker, a lot of the greats of the old. And guess what? Travis Tripp was also getting his time. And plus, he learned a lot from Waylon Jennings. And Garth Brooks learned a lot from Chris Ledoux. So, what else can I say? I don't have anything else to say, except I just wanted to speak on that, have my mind on that, share that with you guys, and talk about it. I ain't got nothing to say except hopefully this all makes sense, and yeah, connecting the dots, being an outside the box thinker, and using what I know. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Take care of each other and be good, Walker Nation, Creek Squad. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep it too sweet. I lay down the law, not just a catchphrase. I lay down rules and boundaries each and every other week as possible. I'll see you guys in the next one. And don't mind this hair. I look like one of those mechanics with the funky hair sticking out their hat. Spunky wave there. Well, that's a gnarly wave.